Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in today. Right off the top, I want to apologize for the big gaps in between my last few videos. I've had family in town, and so I just ain't been able to crank them out as much as I have been. But I'm back able to get back on my grind, so I'm going to start picking it back up for y'all. That being said, today I want to talk about my dude Chris Lahorn, aka Little C. For those of you who have been with me, you know I've spoken about him in previous videos. He's basically family. He's like a brother to me. I've known him pretty much all his life, since he was probably 10, 11. At that age, he was best friends with my cousin Chad and pretty much lived in my aunt's house growing up. In 2005, 2000, yeah, about 2005, he catches his first adult case. And what it was he was running around with a dude named High C. Their names aren't related. Both of their nicknames come from gang shit, but High C's like 30 at the time. Little C's 19. Little C's selling dope for High C. And he's pretty much High C's flunky. I mean, Lil C's putting money in his pocket, but that's how I look at it. High C had always had influence. He always 30, 35 years old, always running around with 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. And it was because he influenced them. He didn't intimidate people his age or even command respect, you know? But anyway, there's this store on the east side where I'm from called, it used to be named Wags, and it was an Arab store. And all through high school and my teenage years, there was always rumors about they sold dope out of there, out of this little Arab store. I can't confirm it. I don't know anybody who can. It was always just a rumor to me. Well, in 2005, I had already been locked up, shit, almost 5 years, over 5 years. Little C's running around with High C. And High C's basically got a steering wheel in his back, putting fucking cables on him to do dumb shit. And the conversation came up somehow one day about Wags. And High C gets into, hey man, I know where there's a bunch of dope at and a bunch of money. And that's all he really had to say. Because Lil C was a crazy motherfucker and he's down like four flats. He don't give a fuck. He grew up in the hood. He's chasing. So he ends up even getting the gun off High C. And that's what fucked him. But I'll get there. So Lil C goes and robs the Arab. During the robbery, the Arab makes a move. I don't know if he was going for a weapon or if he was going for Lil C, the door, what. I don't know. All Lil C said was he had him in a position and he made a move. And Lil C shot him, hit him in his neck. He didn't die, but he almost did. He was fucked up. And it fucked the lick up. Lil C didn't end up getting too much. I mean, he got some twos and fews. He grabbed what he could on his way out, but it wasn't what it was supposed to be, that's for sure. But he does get out. He gets away. About a month goes by, maybe even a little longer. High C ends up getting arrested. He'll tell you it was a dope case. And yeah, part of it was. But the truth of the matter is, and it's public record, Lewis Turner, got caught in a hotel room with two underage girls. He's like 30, 31 years old at the time. They're like 14 and 15. And there's crack laying around. There's crack paraphernalia laying around, like pipes and all that shit. And he's got these two underage girls in there hoeing, selling pussy. Probably getting high and freaking and doing all types of weird shit. He gets caught. His telly gets raided. He gets caught. They take him to the safety building. They get to questioning him. And immediately, man, if y'all work with me on this, I'll tell you who shot the Arab at Wags. Well, how do you know he shot him? Because I'm the one who sold him the gun. Will you take the stand and testify to that? Hell yeah. And I read that verbatim. I read that in Lil C's motion of discovery. We ended up almost having to go to war with High C because Lil C got to Toledo prison in about 06. High C got there probably about 07, maybe the end of 06. And Lil C was already passing around his paperwork showing everybody he was a snitch. But at the same time, High C was one of the highest ranking Crip members in Toledo for sure and in the penal system. And so the Crips kind of felt some type of way about it. And a war almost jumped off behind that shit. But anyway, Lil C ended up getting 12 years. And that's when we got real close. We had become cellies. We did some years as cellies. And we were cellies multiple different times. Just through the ringer, fighting motherfuckers, going to the hole together, moving a pack, getting money together. We broke bread together every night. That was my guy, man. It was like having family in the joint. And in 2013, we separated. And that's actually the last time I've ever seen him. I got rode out. I got my security level lowered. And I got sent to Marion. He got his lowered finally, and he got sent to Allen, which was where I was trying to go. And, you know, we do the rest. He went home in 2017. I went home in 2019. So he beat me home. And 6 months before Little C was supposed to be released, his 13 or 14, I think she was 14-year-old daughter was riding her bike on the east side of Toledo when a car full of guys drove by and shot up a house, and they hit her in her chest. She died on the spot. I could justify a lot of scenarios in that situation where a man's mind would go. Little C dove headfirst into a heroin needle in prison. He had already been eating hella Ultrams and smoking hella weed and drinking, and every now and then he'd dabble with snorting some meth, shit like that. So he had already had the itch, kinda, I think. His daughter dying broke him. And he started shooting up heroin. He ends up coming home and it don't get better. It gets way worse. And in 2018, it had got to the point to where he had resorted to robbery to maintain. We got two 7-Elevens on the east side of Toledo. Lil C robbed them both in the same night. with no mask, no nothing. And he's got very identifiable tattoos, and people from the east side knows who the fuck Little C is. And it didn't take them long to figure it out, and they catch him, and he's in the county jail probably 4 or 5 months fighting a state case. When the feds out of nowhere swoop in and pick him up, and they charge him. He had just got offered another 12 years, and he was getting ready to take it in the state joint. The feds swooped in, and they charged him with all types of shit. Hobbs Act, the repeat habitual offender. They enhanced him, hit him with all these fucking enhancements. Long story short, man, they gave him 27 years. He's I believe he's in Memphis right now. And what got me to thinking about all this shit, man, you know, these last couple videos I put out, we've been talking about like the feds and ICE and all that bullshit. You know, when I was in my 20s and doing all my shit, guys were in and out of the joint for weapons under disability and CCW, carrying a concealed weapon and that type. Repeat. Why all of a sudden the last 5, 6, because this ain't just a Trump thing. And I'm not into politics, but this shit been going on way before Trump. It's really picked up in the last 5 years. Where I told on the one about the Toledo Aquaman, my dude Slow Ro. Same shit. He defends himself. State don't even charge him with nothing. But the feds come in and give him 8 years for the gun. And it's all on tape. It's on camera. Now, I'm not saying Little C was in the right. I'm not. But for all of you out there saying, well, you shouldn't run around shooting people in the neck. Okay, but that dude was selling dope and harming people. He was in the streets too. He was playing the game too. And everybody knows the rules. There are none when you dabble in the streets. There's wolves and there's sheep out here. So, I'm not trying to hear that. Was he wrong for the robberies? Absolutely. And he was getting ready to take a plea and lay it down for 12 more motherfucking years. After losing his daughter and spiraling out of control. And then the feds swoop in and give him a fucking 30 ball? 27 years? Are you serious? I just feel like shit is getting out of control. These sentencing laws. Why are they? I understand. I'm not sitting. I live in the hood. So, if you can't stick your head out your window and see crime, don't say shit to me. Because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I understand what goes on in the hood. I understand what goes on in these neighborhoods. Trust me. I can go sit on my porch for an hour and watch a live episode of Cops every day. He was getting ready to accept responsibility and lay it down for 12 more years. And out of nowhere, for no reason, the feds came in, super upped his charges, and gave him almost 30 fucking years. I know how I feel about it, but I'm biased. Let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button and share the video. Until next time, man, stay up. It's the Hoodie Man. I'm out.